that's not the Chicago State that we know from our Summit League days. Tracy's done just an unbelievable job with that team. They played some big boys pretty good. They didn't play well yesterday, so I think people, that zone that Georgia State threw at them kind of messed them up, and they're not a great shooting team, so I think people thought, but I think you saw tonight they've got some talented athletes. They're very athletic, and I was very, very pleased with the outcome today. I was especially pleased at our field goal percent defense, because they're not a good shooting team, and we had to make them make tough shots. And for the most part, I think we did that. And so very, very pleased that they shot 35% and that we did a really good job at that end, because that's where we really have to improve. We need to improve on offense too, but I'm not worried about that because I've got some talented players. But I'm really concerned about the defense, and we've now played 3 halves in a row and a couple overtimes that I thought we defended pretty good.
All right, we'll open it up for questions for Corey Petros.
Corey, obviously, we're not panicking or anything at this point, but how much did you guys just need to maybe get a win?
We desperately needed one. We started off 0-4, so it was big. It was crunch time. We need to get a win under our belt, get that feeling back in the locker room after a game. So I think it was big for us. We knew we had to come out and play our hardest and defend well and make shots to beat this team because they're a good team. So I think we had a good performance today and a good result.
Corey, what was the interior game like tonight as opposed to last night? Is what you were seeing?
I think last night the guys were a little bit stronger and bigger. They closed in more, and this team pressed the whole time for majority of the game. So I had easier shots when they were pressing. So that pretty much sums that up.
Corey, Coach talked about defensively how things have changed since into the second half of last night's game. What's been the difference?
After the Eastern game, we had a long sit-down, and it just, with the coaches and everything for a couple hours, and the whole mentality had to change. Everything had to change within the team, and, baby steps. It's going to take some time. It's not going to happen overnight, and I think gradually it's been better and better ever since the Eastern game with Western and other schools like that, so that's really what really helped change.
Corey, I'm not singling you out, but the free throws, is that a worry that's maybe it might catch up to you guys at some point when league play begins? Or?
It's something we need to fix.
Wait. Might catch up to us sometime. Didn't that?
Might catch up to you last night.
It caught us last night, but it was right in the rear end.
It's something we need to fix, and me personally, as a senior, I need to do something to change that. So I'm pretty sure and confident that we'll get it fixed. So.
Any more questions for Corey? All right. Thanks, Corey. Appreciate the time. And we'll now open it up for questions for Coach Kampe.
Is there anything you can really do as a coach when your team's not shooting free throws well? Just kind of how do you approach that maybe?
Over the years, what I found out is, back in the old day when you can grab kids and scream and yell at them and do the things that we did 30 years ago, you could get in their face and tell them to make their freaking free throws. Today, I don't want to hurt their feelings, so I don't want to yell at them. But tell them that it's important they make their free throw. So you just shut your eyes and hope they go in, I guess. You surely don't want to take confidence away from them, but if you're shooting 40% from the free throw line, you probably don't have confidence. So all we can do is keep working at it and practice and keep telling them to go out there and make them. We need you to make it. So you got to get mentally tough and step up and make it.
Is that something you saw coming around the bend when Travis graduated?
Well, I told somebody after the game last night, is you got to realize, I don't know our exact number, maybe we can look this up, but we probably shot 73 or 74% from the line last year as a team, maybe 72, which is average. 75 is good. 78 to 80, you win the national championship in free throw percentage. So 72 to 70, 75 is good. 72 is average. We'd like to be 75. We had a guy shoot 175 of them last year and make 165 of them, which is 94%, way more than anybody else shot, and we only shot 72%. So the rest of the team last year was not very good. Now Tommy shot way better than he's shooting right now, and Kay's shooting better than he did last year. And Tommy, I think, is the key to this. He's getting fouled more than anybody on our team this year, and he's got to get back to being that 80% free throw shooter, and he's capable of it. I don't know what's going on with him right now, but he's capable of it. And, you know, if Tommy's doing that, I think we'll be okay. Corey's going to be Corey. He's done it for 4 years. We ain't changing it. You know, he made a huge free throw last night after air balls and banks and all that. He made a huge one. So, you know, to send the game to overtime. If we can get Tommy up to 80% with all the free throws he's going to shoot, I think we'll be okay.
You guys built that big lead, and then how much of it was Tommy going off the floor when the offense kind of
It
stagnated?
was all me. It was all me. We went zone. And we went zone to find out if we can play zone or not. And we left there only two guys that can really shoot. We left one with 1 second on the shot clock or something like that. He just yanked and pulled from about 40 and made it. But we let him. And then a couple possessions later, we let number 2 come off, and he made one. And those are their 2 shooters. And then somebody that can't shoot made one because they're going in now. And so it was all me. I mean, if we stay man-to-man, I don't think I think we win by 18 or 20 points. But, I mean, this is what November's about. This is what these games are about. We got to play that zone to find out if we can play, because we're going to need it. We're going to get in foul trouble. We're going to need it. We're going to need possession of zone here and there. We can't just throw it out there at the Breslin Center, you know, in a 2-point game with 3 minutes to go. Now we've played it a little bit. Now we've got film on it. Now we can work with it. Now we can show Kay Felder how there was a ball screen and you left number 11. You know, we can show them now. So we're up 17 or 18. This is the time to do it. Did it get them back in the game? Absolutely. Nobody to blame but me, but I'm okay with that. Maybe you, the fans aren't, but I am.
Can you talk about how you guys handled the full court press early?
Well, we handled it the whole game until, you know, Kay just got dead tired. The guy played 50 minutes yesterday. What did he play today, 39? Yeah. And they pressed him the whole game, and, you know, he had to take a break there. And, you know, and then the ball got in the wrong. He couldn't get open because he was tired. And, you know, that's all going to go away really shortly here when Nick Daniels comes out. We have another point guard. Right now we got 1 point guard. And so when Nick Daniels comes out, I can rest Kay. I can have them both in it. That's the time. I'm not worried about that at all. I mean, I got 2 guys that can fly up down the floor and handle the ball. Presses aren't. I don't think people will press us. If I were playing us right now, I'd press us right now because you wear Felder out. And that's what they tried to do, especially after he played 50 minutes last night.
Coach, talking about zones, you're going to face a 3-2 zone, bit unorthodox tomorrow against Georgia State.
I've played against that thing for 1,000 times, and I don't know what it is. I have no idea what it is. It's a 1-3-1, it's a 3-2, it's a 2-3, it's man-to-man, it's cutters, it's Hunter on the sideline with no shoes on going crazy, and who knows what they're doing. I do know this, that if you're patient, you ball fake, and you move people around, that you can get good shots against it, and I do think you can rebound against it too. Now, they're really talented. I mean, that's a hugely talented mid-major team. You got a guy that was a starter at Kentucky. You've got a guy that was, you know, won a national championship at Louisville. You've got his son, who is probably their best player, who's being, you know, talked about as a late first, early second round draft choice. Those 3 guys on a mid-major team with a 6'11" center and a backup center that probably would start for us. Wow, they're a good basketball team. I think we did them a big favor by taking Western Carolina to double overtime last night, though, because I thought Western Carolina wore out today in that game. Western Carolina's really good, too, and they played a heck of a game. They had no legs at the end.
Dante had, I think, a trio of big threes during when you guys ran up that stretch. Counted for 9 of those points when you guys stretched the lead to 17. His effort tonight?
Yeah, that was good. That was good. I mean, it's what he's supposed to do. He's a senior. He's a shooter. He's supposed to make shots. He was 3 of 6. I'd rather have been 5 for 6. But that's what he's supposed to do. I thought he guarded pretty hard and pretty well. We made a couple boo-boos down the stretch. I mean, how is there 45 seconds to go in a game, you're up 9, and their best player's standing all alone while we're shooting a free throw, and they throw it up to him, and Petros has to take it. I mean, those are the blunders that we have to fix and change. And it's something, if I appear frustrated, there are, yes, when we've got a couple veterans out there and we let their best player just stand there while we're shooting a free throw, and they throw it up to him, and we put him in the free throw line, and a minute to go in a game, you want the clock to stop. Why Dante wouldn't have been standing right next to him, that's a thing we gotta fix.
Overall, though, feel like you guys did a pretty good job on Rosenberg, at least
Yeah,
in that
I
stretch.
mean, he got going a little bit early, and the first 10 minutes of the game, they made some shots. I think we had a little, layover from a double overtime game and everything, and a loss, a heartbreaking loss. I mean, our team was heartbroken last night. I mean, they were. The locker room was like the end of a season locker room when you've just lost your last game. So to come back from that, I thought we might have a little hangover, and we did, but we got through it and realized that we'd live to fight another day.
You mentioned maybe it was a little heartbreak after last night's loss. How big is it for a young team to kind of get a win under their belt after an 0-4 start?
Oh, I think it's very important to get a win on any time with this team. We have to get some confidence and some momentum going. And if you look down the road in the schedule, you don't see where that's going to happen. Western Carolina's probably going to win their league. Georgia State's probably going to win their league. Western Michigan or Toledo's going to win their league probably. All right, that's how these 4 games. Then we go to Morehead State, who's really good. And then we go to Michigan State, Arizona, Pittsburgh, Clemson, Maryland. So I don't see where that stretch of wins is going to get us, momentum. So every win we get is important. And last night, the heartbreak was they gave everything they had. I would tell you that in the last 2 years, that effort last night was as good effort as we've had. I mean, it was just an unbelievable effort. Not to quit, and have it go against you. That was heartbreaking for them. And it made me feel good when I went in the locker room, because to see that they cared that much means there's a chance we can fix this.
Any more questions for Coach?
All right.
All right, thanks a lot, Coach.
Yeah, big
Appreciate
game
the
tomorrow
time.
night.